Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good. Tonight we're going to be hanging out for a little while, a couple hours, and we are going to be talking about a bunch of different things that have happened today and yesterday primarily, but a few things that are, well, just interesting topics that I felt like we should cover, some updates to situations, a lot of drama. But it is what it is. So, tonight we're going to be talking about The Last of Us. Of course, The Last of Us 1 was a fantastic game. The Last of Us 2 was a pile of crap. And now they are doing a TV show for The Last of Us, which a lot of people have felt very mixed on, of course. You know, when you take something that was previously great and then became pretty shit and you turn it into a TV show, you never know what is going to happen. And of course, Neil Druckmann is a part of the show. We've all been very skeptical. I haven't been holding my breath for it to come out and be good. But the main actress, or one of the main actresses who plays Ellie, revealed that she was encouraged not to play the game before filming, which of course is just terrible to hear. It reminds me of the Halo TV show situation where they basically told the actors, like, oh, you don't have to know the games or the previous source material because we're doing whatever we want. Because they basically put it in, like, a new universe and, like, a new timeline, basically. And they said, oh, well, we are just going to create what we want to create, and this is what's happening. Very, very similar situation, at least in my opinion. So hearing that actors were encouraged to not play the source material that their show is based on, it really doesn't strike me as a good situation. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about Amber Heard, everyone's favorite girl. But we're going to be talking about Amber not because of a positive reason. I mean, when have we ever talked about Amber in a positive light? She now has ranked as the most hated woman in America. Gee whiz, I wonder why. Oh my god, this is just too funny. Okay, I usually don't like to, you know, sit here and rag on people, right? Amber deserves all the fucking ragging on. Amber is just a generally terrible human being, and just to see articles like this released talking about how she's now rated the most hated woman in America, basically out of every celebrity, whether they're, you know, an actor, an actress, singer, whoever, is just so fucking funny. This actually came out in a Washington Post article 2 days ago. And I didn't feel like I had to do a full video on it, but I thought that we could just quickly talk about it during the stream because that is too freaking funny. We're going to be talking about bros. I talked about bros last week during the discussion stream, primarily because, of course, Billy Eichner, who is the co-writer and, I don't know, executive producer of this movie, decided to basically come out and say, fuck anyone who doesn't want to see this. If you're not home, if you're a straight person, go to the box office and go to the movie theaters to see this film, or else you're homophobic. And he decided to delete those tweets, which wasn't very surprising because, of course, when you're, like, going on social media saying you're homophobic for not seeing something is pretty fucking absurd. But he actually decided to, even though he deleted it again, he decided to double down and come out and say that he didn't make the movie for homophobes anyway. Which is just too fucking funny because it's like, he made those initial statements. It seemed like he realized, yeah, maybe that was a bit extreme. I shouldn't call people homophobes for not going to see a movie. But then he decided to double down on it, so he's gonna get roasted for it, which I think is fucking hilarious. And then we're going to be talking about Velma. I talked about Velma in a video yesterday. Of course, the first trailer released for the show, or it wasn't technically a full trailer, it was a teaser, and it sounded ridiculous. I mean, they're race-swapping characters, they're changing the sexual identities of characters. They even said that they weren't adding Scooby-Doo to this because Scooby-Doo is what made it a kid's show in the first place, which is just terrible. But apparently things are not going the way that a lot of people thought, because we initially heard that this was a LGBTQ take on Velma, and they came out and said that she was going to be a lesbian in this series. So of course a lot of people were pretty upset with that, because she hasn't been a lesbian. I mean, she was bisexual, sure, but it sounds like they just did this giant queerbait campaign, because now this show is being accused of queerbaiting, because it doesn't seem like she's gay, judging by some of the tweets that the official show's Twitter account has made. And again, I think that Velma, it's safer to say that she's been bisexual. She's obviously flirted and had interest in a lot of men. And there's been a couple of times that she's kind of been flirty with women between all of the different shows, movies, comics, everything. But, of course, they went on this giant campaign about how she's going to be a lesbian in this, and we were trying to modernize, you know, Velma and all these characters. And now, the show's being accused of queerbaiting. Oh, also, the trailer is still getting fucking ratioed to hell and back. It's almost at 200k dislikes. 25k likes, 195,000 dislikes. So, yeah, that's gonna hit 200k. And we are also going to be talking about Saints Row. I talked a lot about Saints Row on the channel just because there were so many disappointing elements to the Reboot's release. They decided to go in a completely different direction than the previous games. You had the official Twitter accounts coming out and just fucking attacking consumers, which now we know is Deadly Stuff. And then you had people like Deadly Stuff going on their personal accounts attacking people for, you know, saying, oh, you know, you're spreading false information about this game. You're putting out fake dislike numbers and, you know, fake ratios, basically. And oh my god, you know, the user scores aren't accurate because anyone can go and leave user scores. I mean, they were coming up with every excuse under the sun as to why this game was facing backlash, without just simply admitting, oh yeah, there are people that don't like this game, and that's okay. But we heard 3 weeks ago, the Embracer CEO come out and say that he was a bit disappointed with the Saints Row reboot and how much people were basically fighting over it, how disappointed people were with it, how it divided people. And he had said, you know, we're not going to release any numbers, you know, we're not going to release the sales numbers, because, you know, we're going to wait until the end of the quarter and we're going to tally them all up. But apparently this game has sold like fucking trash, because the game has sold over 1 million copies. Okay, it's been a month and a half since release. 1 million copies, guys. Saints Row 4 sold that in a fucking week. Elden Ring, the first month. Almost 14 million copies, okay? This game is a big F4 failure. 1 million copies for a AAA game in the span of like a month and a half. That is just absolutely trash. We're not talking about like an indie game here, like a lower budget indie game. We're not talking about a game that I put out here. We're talking about a AAA game. Millions of dollars behind it. Volition. Giant franchise. 1 million copies. And we know that it's got to be right around that number, because if it was 2 million or 3 million, they would say that. So it's not close to 2 million. Or else they'd round it up and say, you know, about to surpass 2 million copies, which is just so hilarious after all of the attacks on consumers, after, you know, saying only trolls hate this game. Clearly it's not just trolls that hate this game, because nobody showed up to buy it. I know 1 million does kind of seem like a good number when you're just hearing it. It's like, wow, 1 million copies of a game. Again, Saints Row 4 sold that in a fucking week back in 2013. That should be double, triple, quadruple now in 2022. So those are the topics that we're going to talk about tonight. But hi guys, hope your evening is going well. Thank you, Mr. Waifu Taker, for the $5 super chat right at the beginning of stream. Saints Row Reboot sold about 1 million copies. My favorite moment was when the Saints got together and said it's rowing time. I just cried. I still don't know where that meme template came from, but that is too fucking funny. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated. I mean, I didn't expect the Saints Row Reboot to sell well, but I figured it would sell better than that. I mean, it's still, at the end of the day, Saints Row, and you would think that, you know, they went in this new modern direction with the Saints, that there would be people who would show up to buy it, and I am sure, like, 80% of the people that bought it were fans or previous fans of the franchise. I bet this new modern audience they want didn't even show up, because of course the concept of modern audiences is fake. The only people that fit into the modern audience kind of category are social justice warriors, and of course they're not going to show up to purchase a game like this. They're just going to use the excuse, well, your game was offensive in the past, so I'm still not going to support it. No matter what you fucking do, you're never going to please those people. But I guess it is what it is. They decided to go for it. They said they were confident. They took a chance, and they're just falling flat on their faces. I know the game right now is like already down to $40. If they come out and apologize to us and put it on sale and it's like $20, I'll buy it. I'll support them. But they're not going to apologize, so I'm not really giving a fuck. I don't really care, to be honest. The game looked like trash from the beginning. I had zero interest in it, and I try to give games that I talk about a fair chance. The last game that I talked about a lot that I actually didn't play was, funny enough, Last of Us 2. I decided I didn't want to spend my money on it. I didn't want to support Naughty Dog, and I didn't purchase it. I did make, you know, a lot of content surrounding it when it came out. I didn't purchase it. I didn't play it. And the same thing with Saints Row. Again, 90% of the time when a new game comes out and I'm talking about it, I try to give it a fair chance, even if the reception to it has been negative. But with this, I just couldn't bring myself to spend $60 on it. I didn't want to play it. I didn't think you guys would want to watch it, and overall it seemed like a complete fucking failure, and well, it is. Too funny. But yeah, we'll get started in a second. Oh, really quickly, did you guys watch, or have you watched Chainsaw Man yet? It came out today. I have not gotten a chance to watch it yet. I'm gonna watch it after stream. I didn't get a chance to beforehand, but Chainsaw Man is out. I'm super fucking pumped. I hope it's good. It looks really good. But, yeah, I'll be watching that later. I just thought I'd ask. On discount only a month. Yeah, the game had started going on sale only like a month after launch. I mean, the Saints Row Reboot has only been out a month and a half at this point. I mean, we are heading towards 2 months, but it's like on the 27th, so it's like barely a month and a half. Which, obviously, every game is eventually going to go on sale. I'm not sitting here saying, haha, it should never go on sale. If it goes on sale, it means it's an instant failure. Because, of course, that's not the truth. Everything will go on sale eventually. But a month after release and was already 25% off, that is just not... That's not good. And now we're hearing that they sold 1 million copies. That's also not good. They needed 2 million to break even. I don't know what exactly they needed to break even. I don't remember if they've put out any numbers saying what they needed to break even, but I don't think 1 million copies is it. I don't think that is it, especially for a AAA release, a full price AAA release. Yeah, Chainsaw Man came out today. I haven't gotten to watch it yet, though. But alright, guys, let's get started with the first topic of the evening, which is going to be The Last of Us. Now, listen. I have absolutely no interest in this show at this point. I loved The Last of Us 1. Okay, the first Last of Us game was fantastic, at least in my opinion. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really solid. I've replayed it many times. I don't think that it needed a remake. It got a remaster. That should have been fine. But then The Last of Us 2 came out, and it was just so disappointing. It made me so sad that they basically said, fuck the fans, we're going to go in this crazy story direction, we're going to replace the characters you love, and we don't really care what you say about it. Also, a giant part of Last of Us 2 wasn't even just the content, it was Naughty Dog. The way that Naughty Dog talked to us, the way that they acted. I had zero interest in purchasing the game. And then, of course, I believe it was like the beginning of last year, we heard that they were making this Last of Us show. And we've seen, like, images, and we've seen a little bit of footage of it, primarily just like a teaser. But The Last of Us HBO star Bella Ramsey reveals she was encouraged to not play the game before filming, which to me instantly screams red flag, red flag, red flag. It reminds me of the Halo TV show. Now, of course, with Halo, they decided to go in their own direction and put it in their own universe and make their own timeline up, and they changed a shit ton in it. But they told the actors not to play the game or read the source material because that wasn't what they were following, which was very, very odd when you are able to create a show like this because of fans, because of the video games that made the franchise successful. You'd think you'd want your actors to know as much about that source material as possible. Even if you were, following every single little detail down to a fucking T, you'd think that you'd still want them to know the universe and see the version of their character that, maybe they're not playing exactly, but that is similar. But yeah, this is definitely just does not sound good in my opinion. It says HBO has finally unveiled its first trailer for the small screen debut of their Last of Us series, and while the studio undoubtedly hoped it would get fans hyped for what's to come, a subsequent revelation from the lead actress Bella Ramsey may have severely blunted the surrounding excitement. It says, just like a general description of The Last of Us, of course, zombies, outbreaks, you guys get it. I'm sure that you know what The Last of Us is. It says, though, a popular video game franchise for both developer Naughty Dog and their parent company Sony, with the series receiving a staggering number of sequels, prequels, ports, and remakes in its short 10-year lifespan. The series is set to continue capitalizing on its popularity by making the jump to live action courtesy of HBO. I don't have a problem with a live action Last of Us show. I do think that it could be good. But I don't know why. I'm worried. I have no hope in it. I'm not going to hold my breath. I think that is primarily because we know that Neil Druckmann did have a hand in this show. It's not like he's a director. It's not like he's making a lot of the calls for it, but he is, overseeing some of the creative decisions. And Neil Druckmann was a major reason why I didn't want to purchase The Last of Us Part 2, and a major reason why I don't really like Naughty Dog right now, because Neil Druckmann is just a self-centered cuck. But it says, released on September 26th, the series teaser gives us our first real look at the Mandalorian and Wonder Woman star Pedro Pascal as Joel, as well as the Game of Thrones actress Bella Ramsey as Ellie. It says the teaser also provided a brief glance at a clicker. I don't think that the trailer was that bad. I just felt, again, like it's just one single trailer. I'm not gonna get super excited over it when they're showing us like less than a minute of content. It says, though, but with The Last of Us HBO focusing more on the human drama, we will seemingly get more of something like The Walking Dead, where we can go whole episodes of not seeing any sign of a zombie. This was a major worry I had at the beginning, and that is what they're doing. I loved The Walking Dead at first. I loved the first couple of seasons of The Walking Dead, and then it just kind of fell off of a cliff for me. When the zombies were not so much of a focus, when it wasn't, you know, us versus them, and it was just kind of like, oh, human drama with a side of zombies, and the zombies were just kind of hanging out, causing them some problems, I just kind of gave up on the show. I didn't really like it anymore. There were a lot of problems with The Walking Dead as well, like cars and gas. Like, fucking 10 years later, you're not gonna have gas. It's fine. It's just me being nitpicky. I don't want the show to go in that same direction, but it seems like it is going to. Thank you, Autobots, for the $5 super chat. The problem is The Last of Us had a very singular plot. There's only so much a series could spin it to keep it interesting. I agree. Thank you. It says, though, from there, the trailer mostly focuses on the series' post-apocalyptic setting. I mean, again, the trailer was shorter. It's not terrible, but it says asked during a recent interview with USA Today if she had played the games at all before signing on. She admitted, I was actually encouraged not to. After my first audition, they asked me, have you played it? And I said nope, and they said keep it that way. That is just... I hate using the word cringe. That is cringe. You asked an actress if she's experienced the source material, if she's played the games, and she says no. So instead of you asking her to, like, hey, we think that you'll be great for this part, just educate yourself a little bit, play the games, maybe watch some playthroughs, whatever, they said keep it that way. That is just... that is red flag right there. It's like they basically wanted actors who didn't know what the fuck the source material was so that they wouldn't oppose changes. And I feel like that is something that Hollywood kind of does now, where they choose people that won't fight back. Like with Rings of Power, I feel like the actors, the producers, the showrunners, they were all chosen because they weren't really lifelong fans of Tolkien's work, and they weren't going to fight back. They were just gonna say, wow, I'm so grateful you gave me this high-paying job. Sure, I'll shut the fuck up and do what you want. I think that that is not good at all. I'm gonna watch the show when it comes out. Obviously, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna watch it when it releases. At this point in time, though, I have very, very low expectations. I honestly am kind of expecting a Resident Evil situation. Hollywood has not been able to get Resident Evil shows right. Every single one of them has had major, major problems, and I feel like the show is going to be very similar. Obviously, it doesn't come out for a while, sometime in 2023. We don't have an exact release date at this point, but yeah, definitely worrying to hear that they are encouraging the actors to not experience the source material and to basically go into the show with having absolutely no clue of the characters that they're playing and, you know, just the world and the story in general. So yeah, I just wanted to show that off to you guys quickly, but we'll move into the next topic in a minute, which is going to be everyone's favorite actress. Yay! Yay! Everyone loves Amber. Actors not watching the performances of other actors is a common thing. It can influence your performance, preventing it from being 100% original. The problem is we're not talking about another TV show or a movie here. We're talking about a video game. While yes, voice acting is still a performance itself, and, you know, it was motion captured, the game was, I still feel like it's different, and you should be watching the source material. That's the way that I feel. And encouraging her to not at least know the story, the world, kind of the context of everything, but just besides her character as well, is a little bit of a problem for me. I think that, again, it comes across as a similar situation to the Rings of Power, where they're hiring people who are not going to oppose the changes that they're making. And it makes it easier for them to get them to do whatever, because, of course, they don't know these massive changes you're making. And these massive, departures from the source material. Man, it's a zombie apocalypse. If you've played one, you've played them all. I do think that there have been slightly, different, twists and spins to zombie apocalypse TV shows, video games, but I think that something like The Last of Us is very kind of cookie cutter. It's not like it's Resident Evil, where I feel like Resident Evil has a lot of twists and a lot of turns. I mean, you have fucking massive monsters, and you have all this crazy shit going on. You have fucking nukes, and The Last of Us is just kind of cookie cutter, zombie apocalypse, human drama. Everyone is sad, everyone lost someone in their lives, kind of like The Walking Dead. And I just think that with this, they definitely are going to focus more on human drama. And while a show like this, yes, does need human drama, it also needs to have that appeal of, hey, it's, an apocalypse show. Yeah, killer mushroom zombies, 9 feet, 6 inch tall Dommy mommies. Resident Evil's got it all. Fuck Sony anyway. They want to remake Horizon Zero Dawn, which doesn't need it so soon. Oh, I 100% agree. I think that shit is so stupid. We've talked about it a couple of times, but the fact that they want to remake Horizon Zero Dawn is just fucking absurd. I'm all for remasters, remakes for games and properties and products in general that are, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years old. Not 5 years and that look perfectly fucking fine. It's like with The Last of Us 1. I didn't really think the remaster was even that necessary when it came out a couple of years ago, but a remake was just absurd. Absolutely absurd. But alright, guys. We'll move into the second topic. Where the hell is my Bloodborne remaster, Sony? I don't know what their hesitation is with Bloodborne. I truly don't understand. I think it kind of might be... Now, I don't know. I feel like it might be rights. They might be facing issues with something behind the scenes. I don't know why. They haven't released or even teased a Bloodborne remaster or even a remake at this point. People have for years been asking. I mean, every fucking Sony event, there's always talk about Bloodborne. And hey, I would be fucking so happy with a Bloodborne remaster. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this in a negative way. But you'd think that they would have done that already. They would have started teasing it. They'd be like, we know we can make a shit ton of money off of this. But for some reason, they just haven't done anything with it. I've heard about Bloodborne. Sony wants to do something with it, but the code is a mess and they need FromSoft, but they are all tied up. Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors. But there's gotta be something else, then they just don't want to do it at this point. With how many fucking people ask for a remaster, there's no shot they're just not listening to us at this point. They'd make so much fucking money from it. But, alright. Let's get into the second topic, which is going to be Miss A.H. You guys know, I've talked a lot about Amber over the past couple of years. Specifically the past year, there's been a lot of drama. And just a couple of days ago, she was actually spotted on, like, a vacation with her daughter, which, okay, that's fine. Just the media taking pictures of her, releasing articles going, oh, look at how great of a mother she is, and all this jazz. But, unfortunately for her, when there's one positive topic, there's 10 other negative ones, because Amber Heard has now ranked as the most hated woman in America. You know what? I'm glad Amber won something in her life. Because she doesn't win much. Amber has ranked as the most hated woman in the United States, which shouldn't come as much of a surprise if you've been paying attention to the news over the past few months. Like fucking clockwork, I'm sure that there are going to be articles saying Gamergate caused this. Okay, that toxic trolls on social media have caused this. I haven't seen any articles yet that are saying that, but I bet that they will fucking release soon. If anyone knows of any, put them in Discord. I'm sure that they'll start soon, though. It says this was actually revealed in the Washington Post. They revealed that Heard is the #1 negative spot in the infamous Q score ranking list. Let's go over what this means and what the Q score is. I forgot completely about the whole Q score thing. It says, interestingly enough, Johnny Depp, who has always been actually quite high on the list, has remained in the #8 spot on the most positive scores for men. I think taking an eighth spot is a W. I'd count that as a W. I don't know who the most hated man is, though. I don't know. I'd have to look. Let's see if we can find it after. It says the first time I've ever heard about people talking about Q scores was in the 1996 Scream movie. In that movie, I'm not going to explain what the Scream movie is about. They joked about how that would certainly improve your high school Q. It says, though, the Q score is actually an old measure of likability that used to be very important in culture. However, over the years, it's become less and less important. That said, it might become more important in the future. Everyone in the public still has a Q score except for politicians, religious leaders, and royalty. Prince Andrew must be happy about that. Jesus Christ. Thank you for that. Love that. Is Warner Brothers replacing Amber Heard and Aquaman 2 with Emilia Clarke? If only. We're not fucking lucky enough. The whole idea of Q scores was invented. He created this for a company marketing system. But it says Johnny Depp is actually one of the most liked male celebrities in the US. Honestly, this isn't very surprising to hear. There have been a lot of people on social media who have defended Amber. We know the whole entire entertainment industry has basically defended Amber. So you'd think that she would be a little bit higher on the list. That she wouldn't be the most fucking hated woman in America at this point. Because, I mean, ultimately, she still has a lot of people who support her. But hilariously enough, everybody fucking hates Amber. This was the Washington Post article. It says Jerry Springer tops the list of men with negative Q scores, followed by Machine Gun Kelly, Fauci. Didn't it just say not people in government? You know what, it's fine. Chris Brown and Elon Musk. 3 members of the Kardashian clan are near the top of the negative scores for women, while the #1 negative spot is Amber Heard. I don't feel bad. You know, I personally don't really think that Q scores fucking matter at all. I mean, just looking at social media, looking at what's trending, what are hot topics, you can tell who is the most hated celebrity, politician, actor, actress, musician, whoever. It's not that hard to deduce that Amber Heard this year, at least, would be the most hated woman in America. I mean, there's not another woman in the entertainment industry who has been as talked about and as hated as Amber over the past year. But I do think that it is pretty funny that there are still kind of like official lists and people are just dunking on her now because of this. I mean, I look at social media a lot. I obviously have to. It's part of my job here on YouTube. And there's always something trending on like Twitter, YouTube, wherever, that's either Johnny Depp is innocent, Amber Heard is guilty, Amber Heard is mean, Amber Heard is terrible, Amber Heard deserves to be in prison, Amber Heard should go to jail. Like, there's always something with Amber Heard. And there are still times where Johnny Depp's name trends and, you know, it's negative. I'm not saying everybody loves Johnny Depp. Not everybody does. But people hate Amber way, way fucking more at this point. I still think that Amber has kind of dug herself into just a giant hole at this point. I do unfortunately think that Hollywood and specific people in Hollywood do still love her, will still defend her, will still do anything they fucking can for her. Actual simps. But obviously we have seen things be very different, primarily with the way that Johnny has been treated. There's still a lot of companies that won't work with him. We've still heard that, you know, specific, film companies won't pick up movies he's in, don't want him starring in larger releases, because they are afraid of backlash and they are afraid of losing money. But a lot of companies, allegedly, from what we understand, have been trying to get him for projects. He recently re-signed with Dior. He's doing his King Louis XV movie. There was rumors about him doing another movie in the future with Winona Ryder. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about him getting more jobs and, you know, being given another chance, because he was proven to not be the fucking terrible person that Amber accused him of being. Again, I mean, I've said it before, I don't think that Johnny Depp is perfect, but nobody is perfect. But yeah, it's just pretty fucking hilarious to see that Amber Heard is now the most hated woman in America. Again, I don't really think that it's that surprising, but I definitely think that she deserves that top #1 spot. I honestly can't sit here and think of anyone else who's more hated. The only person I can think that this year that was more hated was Kim Kardashian. And I have to say I hate her for it as well, because of the Marilyn Monroe dress. When that happened, when she wore it to, I don't remember, like, the Emmys or whatever it was, the Met Gala, she wore Marilyn Monroe's dress and she stretched it and fucked it all up. Yeah, that was pretty shitty. Literally ruined a piece of fucking history because, I don't know, you want 5 minutes of attention. Oh, you know who else was pretty hated this year? Jada Pinkett Smith. Because of the whole Will Smith Oscar situation, people for weeks were talking about her and how much of a rude piece of shit it seemed like she was. Because it seemed, at least, allegedly, from what my eyes saw, that she was the reason why Will Smith got up on stage and decided to fucking assault Chris Rock. Because it seemed like she got really triggered at his joke, and then Will Smith overreacted. So, I mean, those are the top people of the year that I think have been the worst people in entertainment for me this year. But yeah. Amber Heard is #1, which is pretty fucking funny. She deserves it. Congratulations, Amber, for actually winning something. She was too thick for the dress. Yeah, all that plastic couldn't fucking be squeezed in. I bet Ezra Miller would be at the top of the list, but all of these... So the people who put the names on the list, I'm sure, were too afraid to put Ezra's name on a list because Ezra is non-binary now. So Ezra wouldn't be able to go on the male or female list, and they're probably too afraid of being fucking assaulted. So they didn't put Ezra on the list. Ezra would be a top contender for #1 spot, though. No matter what list they put Ezra on. Is Frosk on the list? No. Frosk is too irrelevant. Frosk is too irrelevant. Yeah, I mean, people in the gaming industry hate her now. But, nobody else knows who the fuck she is. Which, to me, is also pretty funny. Because Frosk, has acted so full of herself. Like, everybody knows her. Everybody likes her. She is innocent. And, well, nobody knows who you are. Not that I'm sitting here saying anyone knows who I am. Nobody knows who I am either. But how do you think that makes Frosk feel? That Frosk is as irrelevant as I am. Thank you, Big Raj, for the $1.99 super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Ezra is watching the stream, Vera. I hope not. I mean, if Ezra wants to come on a live stream and have a fucking breakdown, sure, go for it. Yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith is definitely at least on my list of the year for worst women. Is woke Velma on that list? No, these are only real people, but Mindy Kaling might be on the list next year. Who knows? I still can't believe that this Velma series is coming out. I still can't believe that they fucking queer baited everybody. That is so fucking absurd. Like, they already faced a massive amount of backlash for changing the character. And then we found out that it was just a giant fucking bait. So, guys, we will be talking about Velma soon. But let's talk about bros a little bit. Give me 1 second. I'm going to Rotten Tomatoes real quick to bring up the scores. The absolutely hilarious scores. Okay, here we go. The scores that Rotten Tomatoes is trying to protect. So, guys, last week during our discussion stream, I talked about Bros, the drama, and Billy Eichner basically coming out and saying, if you're a straight person and you do not go to the movie theaters to see Bros, you are homophobic, which of course is a disgusting thing to say. Just because I don't go to the movie theater to see something doesn't mean I'm an ist, doesn't mean I'm a phobe, but of course to these people, they freak out when their products do not sell and they look like giant fucking failures. But Billy decided to delete those tweets. I think that he saw the backlash that he was facing and decided, you know what, for a couple of days, I'm gonna stop. Okay, he deleted the tweets about how you're a homophobe if you don't go and see it, blah blah blah, and then he decided to double down. So this is an IndieWire article. It says he elaborates on the Bros box office disappointment. I didn't make the movie for homophobes anyway. Boy, oh boy. That's definitely a great fucking direction to go in. Just double down. Just double down. You know what? What could possibly go wrong? More people hate you? It says he has a critical darling on his hands with Bros, the new romantic comedy boasting an all-gay cast that he wrote and co-wrote and stars in. But the film's box office numbers left a lot to be desired as it only earned $4.8 million in its opening weekend, despite strong reviews following its premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival. He then made headlines when he attributed the disappointing numbers to homophobia and his belief that straight people just didn't show up. I have said this, and I will always say this, it's my genuine thoughts. I don't think that movies with LGBT casts are bad, okay? I don't instantly go, oh, LGBT cast, I'm gonna boycott this movie, because sometimes things come out. They have these types of people in them, and they're fucking fantastic shows. I mean, or shows, movies, whatever, and that's that. Unfortunately, we see a lot of movies like this come out, and that's the only thing that these films have going for them. They go, oh, we have a diverse, inclusive cast, LGBT, blah, 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 and that's all they have going for their movie, right? That's great. Good for you. You gave these people jobs. You're trying to, you know, give these people visibility. That's great and all, but how about you give us a good fucking product first and foremost, and they never do. Or 95% of the time they don't. It says, though, but as it turns out, the situation is a bit more complicated. Appearing on stage at the New Yorker Festival on Friday night, he spoke more about the film's box office failure while adding some nuance to his controversial tweet. Of course, he put out the tweet, He decided to delete it, and now he's fucking doubling down. It says there's a lot of factors to it. To open this movie in this many theaters, a rom-com in 2022, there are rom-coms with megastars which struggle at the box office, and a lot of the biggest comedy stars are taking their movies to streaming. And for good reason. That seems to be where people want to watch these movies. I still love seeing these movies in the theater. I like rom-coms a lot. Maybe that's just the woman that I am. I think that rom-coms can work. I unfortunately, though, feel like the rom-coms coming out now are nothing in fucking comparison to the 90s and early 2000 rom-coms. Those will forever be the fucking shit, and you are never gonna convince me otherwise. I'm sorry. L plus Ratio plus Bozo plus Maidenless, none of these fucking rom-coms coming out now are even close to fucking like Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, fucking online dating. They hate each other, owning a bookstore, and then suddenly they find out that, you know, their neighbor that they hate are the ones that they're talking to on fucking AIM Messenger. You're just never gonna convince me that these new movies are as good as that. And unfortunately, instead of just accepting the fact that these people can't come up with anything new or creative or interesting that people actually want to watch, they just decide to call us ists and phobes because the new movies that are coming out now are absolutely fucking dog shit. It says, though, while he acknowledged that there were many reasons beyond homophobia that made the film a financial risk, he still emphasized that the subject matter could have been seen as taboo in parts of the country where gay culture is less omnipresent. I think this is, for some audiences, not for gay people, but for some audiences, challenging subject matter. Universal, to their credit, was very bold in how they framed the movie in trailers. There was a lot of gay sex in the trailers, and some people love that. Some people aren't shocked by that at all. It seems like something they look at every day on their phones. What? I mean, sure, if you want to create a movie for people who watch gay sex on their phones every day, sure, you feel free to make that movie. But you can't expect me to go and watch that if that's who you made the movie for. That doesn't make me homophobic. That just tells you that I have no interest in this movie. That's all they had going for this movie. It's got lots of gay sex. Well, congratulations. If I ever find a fuck to give, I'll let you know and I'll buy a ticket. I haven't found one yet. It says it all seemed like something they would look at every day on their phones, you know, and in some parts of the country, like I said in my very controversial tweet, there literally was a theater chain in the South and in the Midwest called Universal, that called Universal over the summer and said, we're not playing this trailer. We live in a divided country in that way, and it depends on where you live. Oh no, some people just don't want to show a movie with gay sex in their theater, so go on social media, put that fucking movie chain on blast and give them the middle finger. It's just as simple as that. L plus Ratio plus Don't Care plus Didn't Ask plus Tainted plus Maidenless plus Destroyed. Actually true, though. It says, while the comedian stands by his original I'm sorry, can I just say that this guy is not funny at all? Absolute loser. While the comedian stands by his original claim that homophobia was a factor in the film's lackluster box office haul, he also understands that the gay community has bigger battles to fight. Why didn't the gay community show up and watch this movie? Are they homophobic too? Because you're saying that, oh, if you don't go and watch the movie, you're a homophobe, right? I didn't go and watch the movie. I just simply wasn't interested in it. This movie only made $4 million in its opening weekend. So where's everybody else? It says homophobia is a bigger problem than how it pertains to this silly rom-com. Again, I just feel like he's trying to play it off. I think that he realizes how bad he made the movie look with all of his tweets and just calling people terrible things simply for not wanting to watch a movie. And I do think that he realizes, oh shit, I really fucked up. But then instead of just going quiet and accepting the fact that this movie isn't doing great in theaters, he decided to double down, which is a terrible thing to do. But of course, sites like Rotten Tomatoes are protecting the hell out of this movie right now. If we go to Rotten Tomatoes, it is sitting at an 88% critic score, which is solid. I mean, what would you expect from critics? But it also, as you can see, is sitting at a 90% audience score when you click on Rotten Tomatoes. But it's not that simple, because audience score, 500 plus verified ratings. Verified? So it's not all of the ratings, because if you go to 90% audience score and you click it and you go to all audience, it is sitting at a 60%. It is sitting at a measly 60, which of course, it's not the worst score in the history of scores, right? But it's also not even close to being the best. Ultimately, he decided to just go on social media and attack people simply for not getting a chance to see this movie, simply not wanting to see this movie, and you really can't go into a film like this and just attack people, right? You need everyone you can get to go and see this film. And instead of just saying, hey, you know what? It's not for everyone and that's fine, and being respectful about it, no, he decided to go in the worst direction possible and basically say, you're a terrible human being if you simply don't go and see this film. So that's all that I really had to talk about with Bros. Definitely an interesting situation. And we'll be moving on to Velma in a minute, and then we have Saints Row to talk about as well. So, yeah, we'll move on in a second. I just had no interest in this movie. A lot of other people also just didn't have interest in this movie. That shouldn't be a bad thing. Not every movie can be for every single person. That doesn't mean that we should be attacked, called terrible things. Individuals just need to learn to accept the fact that everyone has different interests and different tastes, and not everything is going to be, you know, a $1 billion film. It's just as simple as that. Also, guys, before we move into the next topic, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. We need 12 more likes to hit 100. Also, if you're enjoying, check out links in the description and the pinned comment. Consider becoming a member via YouTube memberships. You get a badge, you get access to emotes. Tomorrow evening we are going to be doing a supporter only stream. Donate via Streamlabs, YouTube super chats, all that fun stuff. But thanks for being here, much appreciated. This is what happens when you make a movie with Twitter. Yeah, Again, I'm not sitting here saying that this movie shouldn't exist, because I can accept the fact that I'm not going to like everything in life. You might like it, I might hate it. It is what it is. To me, it's really not that serious. But to these people, they just cannot take a loss. They just cannot accept the fact that sometimes people just don't like content. Also, thank you guys for the likes. We need 4 more likes to hit 100. Give the stream a like. Check out links in the description. Pin comment. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I also did see quite a bit of backlash on social media from the very people that they wanted to market this movie to, from the gay community. I did see a lot of people saying that it was just another film filled with tons of stereotypical jokes. It just was, it felt, I remember reading a tweet that said it just felt like a half-assed attempt at representation, which was, it was very similar to the Q-Force situation. Q-Force came out, it was a show with gay super spies, it was supposed to have a lot of inclusivity, and it ended up just being filled with a bunch of stereotypes that people didn't like, that people found offensive. And it seems like Bros did a very similar thing. I mean, obviously, as I've said, you know, I didn't go and see this movie in theaters. I've only seen some clips of it on Twitter and social media. I can't judge it myself, but I have heard a lot of people just say that, like, it was just a very lackluster experience. Everyone needs their own kind of entertainment, but not everything is for everyone. Yep. Okay, Vera, reveal your true form now. Her true form is a cat. Actually true, though. But, yeah, we're going to be talking about Velma and Saints Row next. Both pretty, new topics. I think that these are the two I'm going to be talking about in videos tomorrow. I mean, who knows? Something else major could happen. I don't know. I don't think that anything has happened since I started streaming. I think that we're safe. I don't think there's anything else. I don't think, you know... I don't think they've announced, you know, season 20 of the Rings of Power is coming out next year. So I think that we're good. But, Velma chat. I had talked about Velma yesterday in a video. There's been a lot of outrage surrounding this series. We only got a teaser, and it instantly blew up for all of the wrong reasons for HBO Max. Let's refresh the official teaser. The YouTube teaser is sitting at 1.5 million views. Pretty good views for only being out a couple of days. But it is getting fucking annihilated. 25,000 likes to 196,000 dislikes. Okay, almost 200k dislikes in only a couple of days. Not many likes. And if you go to the comment section, people are absolutely roasting this series. I cannot show this teaser on the channel. I've seen a lot of people who have conveniently had their videos struck down and claimed and blocked because of showing, or for showing the footage. I didn't show it in my video yesterday. I'm not going to show it tonight. I'm not going to risk having my content taken down because HBO Max are little bitches and they can't accept the fact that people don't like the show. It is what it is. But now Velma is being accused of queerbaiting. They went on this marketing campaign already of how Velma is going to be a lesbian, and they were so happy with this, you know, new version of the character and how they were establishing in canon that she was a lesbian and how it was just going to be, you know, a more inclusive take on this character. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be all that inclusive, actually. It says, Velma accused of queerbaiting, not gay, but actually straight, in the Mindy Kaling series. And, of course, the LGBT community is fucking furious over this. There's been so much talk around the series over the past few days because they said, oh, we're making her lesbian, which, of course, is a departure from the original character. There were also other problems with the show, like the fact that they're race-swapping a bunch of characters and they're not adding Scooby-Doo because he made it a kid's show originally. But now it seems like, well, they're in for a lot more heat. It says, in a sudden turn of events, it's revealed that Scooby-Doo's Velma might actually not be gay, but bisexual or even straight. It says last Tuesday saw it confirmed that Velma is officially gay as the new animated Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo animated movie confirmed Velma to be a lesbian, as footage revealed that she had a crush on a character and the character had a crush on her. And of course, you know, it was being talked about how this was a new turn for this character and they were trying to, you know, think of ways to basically make a modern Velma series for adults, which is just absurd. I've talked about modern audiences a million times at this point because the closest people to modern audiences are raging SJWs. But it says a producer on the various Scooby-Doo projects also confirmed Velma is gay and even said not bisexual. This is the problem, right? When you have someone who is working on the project coming out saying this is definite, saying, you know, I've said this before, but Velma is not bi, she's gay. When you're coming out and saying this character is not this way, she's gay, she's not bisexual, that's why people, you know, assumed. Because we had an actual producer on this series saying it. But it seems like the lie detector has determined that that is a lie. Because it says, however, the new HBO Max series starring Mindy Kaling as the East Asian Velma reveals a different story. The show's official Twitter account has come out and tweeted the casting character descriptions where Velma, get this, has a crush on Fred. That doesn't seem like a lesbian to me. It says, my secret crush on Fred has everything to do with Glenn Howerton's casting, tweeted the account. And they have faced the wrath of social media. You can't say whatever you feel like on one day and then change it the next day when it comes to a show, because you're trying to build an audience. So giving us fake information isn't going to do that. It's just going to piss people off. It says, what is surprising is that the show isn't shying away from LGBT themes, as tweets reveal that Daphne has 2 moms. This second confirms 2 moms as well. It says, though, now Velma is, of course, being accused of queerbaiting. It says, so in the Mindy Velma show, which is an animated adult comedy airing on HBO Max, Daphne has 2 lesbian moms, but Velma seems to be straight and has a crush on Fred. Again, even though a producer said that that wasn't the case. A Twitter user has accused the show of queerbaiting, and the LGBTQ community is in an uproar. Again, I've said this a lot. I am fine with seeing LGBT characters on screen. I think that sometimes they can work perfectly fucking fine and they are fantastic. I think that it's really not a problem for me. I get it. You know, there are people out there who are, you know, feeling like it's being shoved in our faces all the time. Again, I think that I'm willing to see whatever in entertainment, as long as it makes sense, it's good writing, it feels natural. You know, it's not forced in our faces like, hey, look at this, It's the only thing you can focus on because it's the only thing that they actually cared about when it came to writing a show or a movie. But this is just too fucking funny. I'm sorry. This shit is hilarious. Get fucking wrecked, HBO Max. I'm sorry, but you fucking deserved all the backlash that you're facing. You deserve it at this point. I mean, holy shit. You bait people, right? You tell people, she's a lesbian, she's not bi. You have all this fucking backlash because, of course, you're changing a character. But then, days later, it's like, actually, you know what? We were just kind of joshing you guys. It was just a little joke, a little harmless joke. She's not actually a lesbian. It's like, make up your goddamn mind. What are you doing with this character? What are you doing with this story? It says other fans are also unhappy, replying, you could have tweeted literally anything else to announce Fred's voice actor. Another fan is now no longer interested in watching the show anymore. This Twitter user said, I was looking forward to the show actually, even though it seems like it's getting a lot of flack, but now I'm not interested anymore. You're just alienating a ton of people who have been excited about the show. Great job. Another tweeter said from the LGBTQ audience. Well, gay Velma didn't last at all. I mean, what the fuck did they expect? When you're baiting people, what do you... Oh, shit. Okay, we're good. I forgot. I cannot just open Twitter, dude. I cannot open... I follow a lot of artists on Twitter, and a lot of them like and share NSFW content. I'm gonna get straight up banned. Let me see if I can find the tweet. Velma... Straight. I'm also going to not put that on screen yet. I want to find the link to this tweet. So that I can show you guys a couple of the responses. Is it here? It's not. It's okay. I mean, we have some of the tweets here. Be careful. I know I need to be careful. It's fine. I mean, I've already read a couple of the tweets. But if we go on over to YouTube, like I showed, it is still getting ratioed. Yeah, I'm playing Twitter roulette over here. Will I get banned today? But yeah. A lot of people are just fucking roasting this. Pure shit. As soon as I heard how disliked the trailer was, I couldn't wait to rush over and add mine too. Jesus Christ. Oh my fucking god. So the entire trailer is just one big thing making fun of people who dislike a bunch of changes to a beloved series. I was looking forward to it until this. Good job alienating what could have been potential viewers until you decided to be insulting. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Velma, guys? Are you excited for Velma? Are you not excited for Velma? Are you gonna give it a chance? Are you gonna watch it? Are you excited? Do you not give a fuck about it? I'm curious. Why is everyone laughing at me? It's not my fault. There's a lot of NSFW content. I follow a lot of artists. Okay? It's not my fault if a titty is on screen or not. I'm not gonna get banned over it. I do not show my Twitter general feed anymore. I am not gonna get banned. I am not. But I gotta be careful when I just open my Twitter like that. Holy. Velma looks like garbage. Yeah, I don't see anything with this series that would make me watch it. You know, I love Scooby-Doo. I think some of the shows, the movies have been fantastic. I just don't give a fuck, though, about this. I just don't give a fuck about this show. Bear's not collecting NSFW Velma. I mean, Velma's always been a fun character. But NSFW content of her, I don't know about that. We need a list of those artists. Go to my Twitter and go to the people I follow. You'll find a couple. Don't worry. Yeah, they pissed off modern and ancient audiences at the same time. So basically the only people that I mean, maybe you guys, you know, see another group of individuals that could be considered modern audiences. The only people that I see that could be considered as modern audiences are the social justice warriors that freak the fuck out online, who get triggered at everything, who want everything canceled. Those are the only people I can see that are considered or could be considered modern audiences. I could care less about Velma's orientation. I'm upset about them releasing a trailer telling us they hope we die. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because it's so fucking ridiculous that we have to sit here and talk about a trailer that tells us we should die. I'm sorry. This is too fucking much for me. Oh my fucking god. Let's be real. Who still watches Scooby-Doo? I don't think it's necessarily about people who actively watch Scooby-Doo still. I think it's just people who have nostalgia. Because series like this do need that nostalgia audience. While yes, you know, new content needs to come out and nostalgia does sell very well, I think that series that only revolve around nostalgia, they have to be very careful with what they're doing. Because they want to respect the things that people loved about an original series, because they want those audiences to come back and watch a show. But they also need to do something different, because if they just try to replicate the previous content, they're just going to get fucking ratioed over it because it's going to be bad. There's no way that it's going to be better. But I don't know. I don't see a way that this series could go well. It's 2 a.m. and I can't sleep. That's unfortunate. I mean, I used to love Scooby-Doo. I think that Scooby-Doo's the shit. I would love an adult series with Scooby-Doo walking around fucking swearing at everybody, you know? I'd love that. But no, Scooby-Doo is what made Scooby-Doo a kid's show. We can't do that. We can't have a Scooby-Doo in an adult show. All we get is characters that are race-swapped and gay. That is literally what makes this show an adult series. Are gay characters and race swaps. I hope that the comedy's good. I highly doubt that it will be, though. Well, guys, we're gonna move on to Saints Row now. I've lost my brain cells talking about Velma. It's time to lose the rest. Oh, let me check. Am I still blocked by Deadly Steph? Deadly Steph. Have you decided to be nice now? Deadly Steph. Nope, I'm still blocked. Oh, well. Aw, man. Damn, what a hater. Actual L plus ratio plus bozo. Well, guys, it's time to talk about Saints Row. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But what's good about this topic is that we can fucking laugh at this piece of shit game. So, a couple weeks ago, we heard the Embracer CEO come out and talk about how, you know, he wasn't going to release sales numbers, but he was pretty disappointed with this game all around. He was pretty disappointed that there was a lot of negativity, there was a lot of divide surrounding this game, and, you know, in time we'd hear about sales numbers, and maybe, just maybe, you know, things would get better. Things would be a little bit more positive surrounding this game. But, as of today, we officially know sales numbers, or rough sales numbers for Saints Row, and it is not looking good. Honestly, it's worse than I expected, okay? Before we read the numbers, I expected this game to sell 3 million to 4 million copies. You know, it would break even. They'd be able to say it was technically a success. They're not anywhere close. So, it says today Volition and Deep Silver announced their plans for the Saints Row reboot that was released back in August. Keep in mind, this game has been out for about a month and a half at this point. It says, first of all, we hear that the game has sold over 1 million copies and that the developers are in for the long run in terms of support. Now, first of all, we can deduce that it's not like 1.5 million copies or 1.6, because anything over 1.5, they would say, is around 2 million copies, right? They would round up. So clearly, this game did not sell near any other large increments. Again, if it was, you know, 1.5, they'd say 1.5. If it was closer to 2, they'd say 2. They're saying over 1 million copies. Has to be right over 1 million copies. That is fucking abysmal, okay? This is a Saints Row game. Giant franchise name, right off the bat. Triple A title. They must have put millions of dollars into this game. Just for some comparisons, Saints Row 4, 2013. Saints Row 4 sold more than 1 million units during its first week on sale. Saints Row Reboot sold 1 million copies in a month and a half. And Saints Row 4 game came out 2013. Sold 1 million units in its first week. Let's look at Elden Ring. Bandai Namco has updated its sales figures for Elden Ring, which of course is one of the largest game releases this year, saying the game sold 13.4 million copies in its first month on sale. Okay? 13.4 million copies in a month. And again, Saints Row, month and a half worth of sales here. 1 million copies. That is fucking abysmal for Volition. I mean, that is a terrible number. You know, we're not talking about an indie game here. They cost maybe like $1 million to make, which is lower budget in terms of game development. We're talking about a AAA video game. $60, giant release. Should have been one of the largest releases of the year. 1 million copies, chat. Game that came out in 2013 sold that in a fucking week. Same franchise. Yikes. It says the first order of business is to improve the overall experience, so additional content will be coming later time. So they are saying that they are planning to support this game for a long time. They're not just dropping it. They're going to put a lot of time and effort into it, which is fine. But it says, while new content isn't a priority, so who the fuck knows when the players will get new content, because it's not a priority. All players will receive a free cosmetic DLC, and this year we'll see the release of more free cosmetic packs, with further DLC of that kind to be provided to expansion pass owners at no extra cost. Incidentally, the expansion pass will be sold separately starting later this month. So if you don't own the expansion pass, you have to buy it to get content. But also, they expect you to buy story content. It says 2023 will see the coming of more content, including new paid story content that will be purchasable separately, and free new gameplay experiences and areas of the city to explore. So not only do they want you to buy a $60 game filled with trash content that nobody wants, but they expect you to buy an expansion pass and separate new paid story content. Now, I'm glad, ultimately, to hear that they're not just abandoning this game, right? Because usually when a title fails like this, it's instant. They instantly start firing people, laying people off. You're lucky if you get any sort of new content release. I mean, that's just what happens. So I am glad for those people who bought it, that they are going to be getting more content. You know, good for you. Congratulations, you guys. How many people are still playing this game, though? Be fucking for real. Let's be real. I don't know how many people refunded this game, traded the game in, but I just don't think that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be playing this game in a month, 2 months, 3 months. I think that, yes, there are people who put initial time and effort into the game. They'll keep up because, you know, a content story expansion, what are you going to get? 3 hours of content, 4 hours of content at most, maybe a couple new skins, cars, whatever the case. But yeah, 1 million copies in a month and a half. That is not good. That is very, very, very bad in terms of a AAA full price release in a already established franchise. So, yeah, very fun. I also have their Twitter up. I don't know if they've posted anything else, but I do have the post up of their announcement earlier, which of course is getting, yeah, roasted. 1,118 likes. Lots of quote retweets. And if you go to the comments, just people kind of roasting them. Just a lot of people laughing at them. I don't know if the account has tweeted anything else. Of course, we now know that Deadly Steph runs this account, so yeah. Somebody said, looking forward to seeing what is to come. Probably one of the funnest games I've played this year. Somebody said, shut up, you sad shill. And the official account said, hey, attacking people is not cool. Steph. Listen. Steph. Listen. Attacking people isn't cool. I want an apology for calling me a terrorist. And then we'll talk about what is not cool and the way that you should not treat people online. Okay? Okay. Great. Thanks. I mean, come on. Hey, that's not nice. Hey, attacking people is not cool. Reading the comments. Ah, yes, working hard. By working hard, you mean having people like Deadly Stuff attack critics, right? You're ever gonna come out and apologize for that behavior? Of course they're not, because they don't actually really give a fuck. They don't give a single fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That shit is too funny. Oh, that's not very nice. You shouldn't attack people online. Motherfucker, who are you talking to? Who do you think you are? You're the one who did it first. My god. Angry Joe. Final verdict, 2 out of 10. Honestly, it doesn't even deserve a 2 out of 10. We'll give it a 2 out of 10 just to be nice. Good news, looking forward to revisiting the row. Wasn't a fan of the story and characters, but the game was fun. I'm sorry, but that is just such a fucking shill comment. I'm sorry, guys. Come on. I'm looking forward to playing more of the game. Yeah, I might have hated the story. Yeah, I might have hated the characters. Yeah, I might have thought that all of the basic fucking elements of this game were trash. It was glitchy. It was flawed. But the game was fun. What does that even mean? You're complaining about everything. The game's flawed. The game's glitchy. The game has a bad story. The game has bad characters. But it was fun. What was fun about it? The load screens? Trying to fucking slash stuck out of a spot when you're flying in your car in the sky? Because it's glitched? What does that mean? What a shill. Come on. Come on. You couldn't even list one thing that was fun. Yet you're saying it's fun? At least list something positive. Come on. Ay, ay. What a joke. Cool, but it still doesn't fix the problem that the whole game itself is terrible. Rewrite the story and characters. There's nothing that they can do at this point that would fix this game. This game is a pile of trash. There's nothing that could make this better. We're working hard on improving your experience. 2023 sounds exciting. I can't wait. Yeah, are you even gonna remember that this game exists, though? Like, say in half a year when this comes out, is there anyone who's really going to give it a chance? Is there anyone who's really going to remember this game exists or play it? I don't know. I just don't see anyone coming back to this game in half a year. I mean, obviously there might be a couple of people, but I'm not sitting here going, you know, most of the reception's been positive. I think people will forgive and forget and give the game a chance. I just don't see that. Anyway, guys, those were the topics that I had to discuss tonight. I'm not wrapping up stream yet. If you have any topics or questions, feel free to leave them in chat. But I'll be wrapping up in a bit. Quickly, if you're enjoying the live stream, or if you have enjoyed the live stream, give it a like. Check out links in the description and the pinned comment. Become a member. If you become a member or a Patreon tonight, you get access to the supporter stream tomorrow. Get access to emotes, badge next to your name, all that fun stuff. Also, consider donating via Streamlabs, YouTube Super Chats, all that fun stuff. Thank you for being here, though. Just make sure to like the stream. Follow me on social media, join our Discord, all that fun stuff. So they delayed initial release half a year. Now they need another half year to make it fundamentally playable. Really, that is the #1 problem I had with this game. Is that we weren't talking about a title that was, like, rushed out, you know? The game got delayed. The game faced, you know, I think it was, like, you're saying half a year. Honestly, I feel like it was closer to probably, like, a year of delay. Because it probably wasn't, because they would have had to know a couple months before launch, but we'll call it 6 months delay, just because that's, you know, what they publicly said. The game is unplayable. It's a buggy, glitchy, broken mess. It's not like the game just had bugs, and the content itself was great. Like, the gameplay was awesome, character, story, all fantastic, and it just had some bugs and glitches, because I can forgive bugs and glitches. After a couple weeks, usually most games are fixed, or a lot of the major issues are fixed. This game had everything that was bad with it, though. From characters, to story, to bugs, to glitches, to just everything. Do you think Saints Row will make a comeback if it gets put on Game Pass? I think that if they put it on Game Pass, a lot of people will give it a chance. Now, I don't think that it would make a full comeback. Like, I don't think that we'd see massive waves of YouTube videos of people changing their thoughts on the game. I don't think that we're going to see, you know, player numbers spike for the long term. I think that it would get probably a lot of players. Like, if it was put on Game Pass, I would play it. Fully transparent. I pay for Game Pass. I don't pay for Game Pass for that. I would try the Reboot out if it was put on Game Pass. But I wouldn't put another $1 into the game. You know, I wouldn't buy DLC. I wouldn't buy cosmetics. I wouldn't buy skins. I wouldn't buy any of that. So it'd probably prop up their player numbers for a bit, but I don't think those players would stay around very long. I appreciate that you didn't talk about the Mario voice acting. Too many grown-up men take this shit too seriously. It's a kid movie. The reason why I didn't really talk about the Mario voice acting was because I feel like we didn't really have enough to go off of. Do I think that Chris Pratt sounds like Chris Pratt? Yes. I don't think that he sounds like Mario. I think that he sounds like Chris Pratt. But we literally heard him say one sentence. So I don't really have a lot to judge off of. I think that visually it looked pretty good, but yeah, I wasn't mad at it just because we heard one line. So, yeah. I didn't have much to say about it. I do recognize though that people are pretty furious at the whole, you know, Chris Pratt Mario situation, just because he had said that, like, oh, for months he put time and effort into figuring out the voice. He literally just sounds like fucking Chris Pratt. Yeah, I mean, everything with this title was trash. The characters, their personalities, the dialogue, the general storyline, the themes. There was nothing with this game that was good. Who's better, the modern audiences or the broader audience? I mean, I don't know what you mean by that. The broader audience? L to Deep Silver and them soy milk drinking kids out there? Yeah, I feel kind of bad for how fucking stupid these companies and their executives are. Honestly, they are fucking idiots. If they think that making a game for modern audiences is going to sell after seeing flop after flop after flop, I don't know what to tell them. They've just got some fucking issues. How many chances can we give companies? I mean, you get what you deserve. You put out a game. The marketing was attack consumers, say fuck the previous audience, you want new audience. I mean, okay, that's your choice. But to whine and complain when you don't get sales, I mean, you get what you fucking deserve. I'm honestly surprised that Steph hasn't blocked me from the official Saints Row account yet. I'm a little surprised. They're so desperate for money, they put out hot sauces. $18? Oh, hell no. Oh, fuck no, dude. Oh my fucking god. $18 for a bitch-ass hot sauce? How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 5. Motherfucker, I don't have $90 for your trash, dude. I was thinking maybe like $30 for like a little set. Like 5 of them for $30. Sure. Motherfucker, $18 each? Bitch, I don't have $100 to spend on your trash hot sauce, dude. I mean, none of these are even original. Habanero. Blueberry habanero. Okay. Cayenne garlic. There's no way anybody's gonna be buying these. You're desperate for my $20 for coffee. how big is this? How big is it? How many ounces? How many ounces? Ah, that's definitely great. They don't even tell you how much you're getting for $20. 50. Nope. Nope. They don't even tell you how much you're getting. That is just not okay. That is actual being scammed though. You are actually, you honestly deserve to get scammed if you buy this. Sorry, chat. I've just got to be honest. I gotta keep it a buck with you guys. You deserve to get scammed if you're spending your money on that. I was thinking like maybe like, you know, $30 for a little pack of hot sauce. $100. That's a bit too much for me. I've got to be honest. But yeah, comment section. Just completely roasted. If what the blog says is to be believed, then I may be more interested in potentially picking up the reboot if the game is significantly better by August 2023. Oh my god. It's okay. In a year, we know exclusivity, right? So it's not going to be releasing on Steam until 2023. People are saying that maybe in a year it'll be better. It should not take a year to make a game functionable. It shouldn't take a year for a game to be in a good state. You're talking about a full price AAA game here. It should take a month. A month after launch, you know, there are going to be bugs and glitches when things release. I get that. I'm not sitting here saying it should be 100,000% perfect right at launch. I get it. You know, things have problems. But a year? That's not it. That is just not it. Can't make this up. The page you're looking for may no longer exist. Please use the menu to find the page you're looking for. For the link? Or did they delete something? Maybe they deleted something. I mean, that's a lot. You're asking for a lot. Uh-oh. Why is 343 trending? They added the cog helmet to Infinite. I mean, that's fucking sick. But Halo Infinite's dead. I did buy the cat ears in Halo Infinite, though. I know this is fake purely because 343 would never do anything this cool. Wait, I just got fucking debated? It's not even real? I was actually considering logging into this fucking game. It's fake. You bitch. You bitch. Well, it is what it is. I'm not logging in now. Thank you to all the beta testers who will help fix this game so that the smart people can buy it when it's fixed for half the price. I feel so bad for the people who willingly spent $60 on this game. Full price. Just, I feel bad. I really do. I feel bad for you guys. I understand Saints Row, you know, you want to give it a chance. You hope that it'll be great. We all knew, though, deep down in our hearts it was going to be bad from the beginning. Yeah, I got baited. It was a fucking lie. I was actually considering logging in. Man, that is sad. I got burnt for $60 and I won't return. I highly doubt it'll be a No Man's Sky scenario. The thing with No Man's Sky is that the core of No Man's Sky was good. It's similar to Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk launched, it had a lot of bugs, a lot of glitches. Cyberpunk did have a lot of problems, admittedly. But the core of what was there was good. You know, the gameplay was good, the story was good, the characters were interesting. It had a lot going for it. This Saints Row Reboot doesn't have anything going for it. That's the problem. That's the issue. Volition torched their own reputation. Now people know they release fully buggy games of low quality. Well, that's... The problem is that the Volition now is not the Volition of then, you know? The people that are running Volition now and that are doing things with Saints Row now, they're not the people who have made the previous Saints Row games that people love and adore. That's the issue. That's the problem. It's not the same individuals. It's just a shell of the company that once was. But yeah, if you guys have any topics you'd like me to discuss before the end of stream, let me know. No Man's Sky is fun and very zen. I haven't played No Man's Sky in a while, but I know that they've been pumping out a lot of content for it, which is awesome. I probably should log back into it at some point here and give it a chance. I enjoyed Saints Row 2 more than the reboot. I really like all of the other Saints Row games. 4 was obviously very different than 1, 2, and 3. It was very crazy, sci-fi, over the top. But I've liked all of the Saints Row games. I mean, for me, 2 and 3 were the best. I mean, I loved 1, don't get me wrong, but like 2 is probably the best in my opinion. But every game, even those games had problems when they released. I mean, look at something like, also with Cyberpunk, look at The Witcher, you know? Witcher 3 had problems at launch as well. But they fixed them eventually. Battlefield 1 is a masterpiece. Battlefield 2042 is a disgrace. I was so sad about 2042. I pre-ordered it. I was so excited for it. It sounded so awesome. You know, giant battles, environmental destruction. That sounded like the shit. It sounded so good. And it came out and it was just shit. Not the shit. I refunded it. I like never refund games. I hate refunding games. I'd rather keep it. Maybe one day I'll play it again. I'll give it a try. And I refunded it. I played it for 2 hours on stream. And that was that. What games are you looking forward to? Your thoughts on Gotham Knights, which releases next week. I do have Gotham Knights pre-ordered. I will be streaming Gotham Knights next week when it releases. I'm feeling kind of iffy about Gotham Knights right now, just because the gameplay that we've seen looked a bit rough. The gameplay looks a bit rough. I'm a bit worried about it, but I will still be streaming it and playing it. Next week, Plague Tale Requiem also announces. I do plan to stream that. And then the week after, on the 28th, Bayonetta 2 and the Resident Evil Village DLC both release. I don't know which one I'll be playing on launch day yet, but I will be playing those back to back. I'm considering starting with the Resident Evil Village DLC first, but who knows? We'll see. I do plan to play all those, though. In Discord, in the Discord server, in the Dark Titan content channel at the top of the server, I do have a list of games that I plan to stream. Obviously, that list isn't always 100% updated. Sometimes new games are announced, release dates are changed, and that list does get updated, but I do plan to play all the ones that I just talked about. Yeah, Bayonetta 3. Did I say Bayonetta 2? I clearly meant Bayonetta 3. Oops. No, see, I just don't like refunding games. If I buy a game, it's because I want to play it. I feel confident in its release. I'm excited for it. It's just so unfortunate that we get so many just trash games. But they haven't tweeted anything else besides the post from today. I still think that this is hilarious, though. Thanks to all the beta testers who will help fix this game, so that the smart people can buy it when it's fixed for half the price. I feel bad for people that bought this trash at $60. Johnny Depp is trending. Johnny Depp rises. Nice. Good for him. Do you think I give a fuck, peasant? At least they're trying to fix it instead of just insulting the players, but it doesn't matter. The game has no future. It's not fun to play. The shooting sucks. The driving sucks. It has a dead city, not to mention the story and characters are horrible. They don't really care about players, though. That's the problem, is that they already have insulted players. By releasing the game in the state that they did, that right there is insulting players. Gotham Knights will be disappointing, mostly because people want it to be like the Arkham games, and it won't be. I mean, yeah. On one hand, I do want it to be like the Arkham games, but I personally do acknowledge the fact that it's not going to be exactly like them. I think the gameplay looks like it's going to be a problem, though. The gameplay looks rough from what we've seen. I am going to play it. I'm going to give it a chance, but I'm worried about it. Battlefield lost its identity. They need to make Bad Company 3 with complete destruction, even at the expense of smaller maps. EA does not understand that fans do not want a COD clone. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is that Battlefield has always had its own identity, and it's always been different. And they did try with 2042 to make it closer to Call of Duty, but I do genuinely believe that if Battlefield 2042 had released, and it wasn't so fucking buggy and glitchy, and there weren't so many technical problems, I think the game would have done really, really well. I mean, there were so many people who were so excited for it, who pre-ordered it and played it and, you know, wanted it to be good. I think that if 2042 had released, and again, it had not been plagued technically, I think it would have been fucking insane. I think that people would still be playing it, and I think that it would have done amazing for them. It had some great concepts. Again, like, the environment changes, I thought were fantastic. That was the shit. Never caught a live of this before. Hello, Goji. Hope your evening's going well. I'm ready for Callisto Protocol. That also looks really, really solid. I will be streaming Callisto Protocol when it releases. Another game that I'm looking forward to. I hope that'll be good as well. I'm a little worried with Callisto Protocol, just because I feel like we haven't seen that much footage of it, but it still is a couple of months away, so I'm honestly not feeling worried about it at this point. I think it'll be great. I at least hope it's going to be great. I hope it's not going to be a big disappointment. I can't take another AAA disappointment. Which characters are you choosing for Gotham Knights? Honestly, I don't know. I have no clue. When it comes to new releases, I don't look a lot at the details, right? Like, I don't look a lot at, like, the characters or the factions. I just look at gameplay briefly, but I don't look at a lot of the details. 7 or 8 space games. There's so many space games coming out. Yeah. So many space games. You know what I'm feeling the most hyped for right now? It's just Hogwarts Legacy. I'm feeling super excited for it. I hope it comes out and it's great. Gotham Knights characters. I have like a million. Why does this shit? Why do I get stupid ads like this? Okay. Nightwing? I mean, yeah, I gotta be honest. Nightwing is probably gonna be my favorite. I thought that we could just watch the... There's Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, Red Hood. For me, it's probably going to be between Red Hood and Nightwing. I mean, Nightwing is kind of the most badass, to be honest. It still makes me sad that they said that they didn't put Batman in this game because Batman would have been too distracting to their story. That is such a skip-out answer. That's such a bad answer. Oh, we didn't put the main character that people would want to see because he'd be distracting. Interesting ad there. I don't know why I get that ad like 5 million times a day. It's like the only ad that pops up on my account for some reason. I don't understand. Nothing else.
I got this, Bruce.
Do you got this? Why are you tapping your shoes? Your fucking Adidas sneakers over here. Step into the night. That's nice. Who asked?
Said he likes to keep you guessing.
I just want to see the gameplay. Robin? Probably not. I agree. Nightwing, he is doing a lot of flips, which is a little obnoxious.
Using teleportation tech from the Justice League satellite, I bet I could zap myself short distances in a fight. Bruce always told me to believe in myself. That I had what it takes. Let's prove him right.
Well, it doesn't matter. Bruce is dead. Sorry. I mean, Robin's looks kind of cool.
This is it. This is how Robin wins.
Batgirl? Clearly the best. It's a woman.
No matter what ails.
Kind of reminds me of Captain Marvel.
That's who I am. That's who I'll always be. Gotham has called.
I don't know, I'm getting very Captain Marvel. That does look kind of cool though. And then Red Hood. I wonder if Robin's boyfriend is in the game. Maybe, who knows?
And I'll go to hell and back to see it through.
My problem is that the game looks slow. Like, I don't understand. The gameplay just looks very slow. Maybe it's just the way that they've lined everything up and they've placed the enemies and the enemies are attacking them. It just looks very slow. So, I don't know at this point. I'm going to be playing Gotham Knights when it comes out. I'm hoping it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it to a certain extent. And I'm hoping it'll be good. I'm hoping that we will not be sad and disappointed. But yeah, guys, I'm going to be wrapping up stream in a minute, so any last minute questions, feel free to ask. I'll keep playing the Arkham games. It's been a while since I've played the Arkham games. I really should probably replay them because they were so good. Modern Warfare 2 is going to require phone numbers or phone verification to play. Yes, a lot of games now are doing that. I know that there was a lot of backlash with Overwatch 2. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really see a reason to be mad at them requiring phone verification. Primarily because they are trying to combat cheaters. I get it. I mean, most platforms want you to have two-step on now at this point, so I don't really see that big of a problem with it. Yeah, it's very inconvenient for people. I do agree with that, but I think that it's not that big of a deal. I think Batman will be DLC. Well, they said that Batman's not in the game because he'd be too distracting, so I don't think that would make sense for them to not do that and then put him in as DLC. Plus, he's dead. I guess spoiler alert. He's dead in the game, so I don't know how they do that unless it was like a flashback type thing. I don't know. I'm still excited for the game. It does look a bit slow. We'll see how it goes though. I just hope that it's a longer experience. I really just don't hope that it's like, since there's 4 main characters, I don't hope, I hope that they're not like 5-hour each campaigns. I hope that they're like 10 to 15 hours each. I don't think it's going to be that way. I think it's going to be like 5 hours each so that you play the game 4 times. Arkham port to Switch would be cool. I'd buy it again. If they did that, I would buy the shit out of that. That would be amazing. Prepaid phones won't work. That is the only problem that I do have with it, is I think that prepaid phones should 100% work. But again, I don't think that requiring phone numbers is that bad. I can focus so much better now because there's no Batman, right? Like, how does that make sense? What people love the Arkham games because they're Batsy. I don't see the problem. I have seen gameplay for Atomic Heart, yes. Red Hood outfit sucks. I don't think that it's that bad. I think that it's okay. I think all the outfits look pretty solid. I don't know how to feel about Robin's. I felt like his looked a little weird. Or maybe it was just one of them. Because there's like 2 or 3 different ones that they show. Yeah, that one. That one's a little weird with the shaved haircut. That one's a little odd. But besides that, it's not bad. But, alright guys. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up the live stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do really appreciate it. Tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing a supporter stream. And then Thursday, we will be continuing and finishing Dante's Inferno, and then we'll be starting something else over the weekend. But yeah, Dante's Inferno Thursday, supporter stream tomorrow. Thank you guys for stopping by tonight. I do really appreciate it. Before you head out, if you enjoyed the stream, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Check out links in the description. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Minds, BitChute, Odyssey, Getter. Join our Discord server. Of course, we're very active there, and I do tag you all when I go live in case YouTube doesn't notify you of the live stream. But check out yesterday's videos, past few days worth of videos. Check out links in the description. Thank you all so much for being here and for stopping by, and have a fantastic evening, everyone.